Video is about the true Christ. It is about the sacred city and the sacred child. It is going to reveal information up until now not known, except they have been seen in places where I have given them before. So now I'm going to do this video. This is a very serious video because when people talk about things that are unknown and different from what people are accustomed to, they seem to think that seem to think that they can belittle and brush away these things. But these things that I am going to be talking about here now have power over the lives of all human beings living on the earth, including those who have come to be known as presidents and kings and are giving orders. What I'm saying here has power over all of them. So now I'm going to talk about who is the true Christ, who is his bride, as it is said, and who is the sacred child. And I'm going to be naming places that people are going to find it hard to deal with. And that is why I am going to title this video as Wisdom is Too High for a Fool. Because if you're a fool, you will not be able to deal with information that I'm giving out here. So now I'm going to be naming places like Jamaica, Cuba. I'm going to be naming Isis, Osiris, Horus. And I'm talking about the Christ, his bride, and his sacred son. Because in Christianity they tell you that the sacred child is the Lord. But the sacred child is not the Lord. The sacred child is the child of the Lord. And it doesn't mean what you believe it to be. So now I am naming Cuba, Jamaica, Isis, Horus, and Osiris. And you are wondering, so where am I going with that? Well, let me start at the beginning. And the beginning is this. The whole concept that there is a Christ, a Messiah, who will come at a certain time that they refer to as the end of time, to judge mankind and give order and establish a sacred kingdom in the earth. All of these ideas and concepts have been copied from the concept of Horus, Osiris, and Isis. That is where it comes from. It did not start with some man called Jesus, or that he had another name but now he's called Jesus, or with some man called Abraham, who gave birth to the Hebrews, the Jews, and the Muslims. These things didn't start there. No, I'm not claiming where they start from, but I know where they were copied from. They were copied from the people who are now referred to as Egyptians, who basically were a collection of tribes in ancient Africa. And the land where they lived was called the land of Ham. And that comes to include parts of what is now known as they call Sumeria, where they are telling you that the Anunnakis were the rulers and so on. Now these people were the original people who managed the concept of a sacred messianic person who they called Osiris. And their description of Osiris is her name means Lord of the West. So he was seen by these people as belonging to the Western Hemisphere. Now this is the hero, the messianic hero that the Bible has copied and turned into Jesus. He was seen as from the Western Hemisphere, not from a place called Bethlehem of Judah or Jerusalem or anywhere in Canaan. He, in the original concept of the people who were copied, he was known as the Lord of the West. And they said, when they say West, they mean the Western Hemisphere, because they are telling about where the sun sets. The sun sets in the Western Hemisphere. He's the Lord of this part of the world where we are now. And this Osiris, in a futuristic, prophetic, messianic concept, has been foretold to come at the end of a given time. And people have done their homework and know that we actually reached the end of that time somewhere around 2012. Now, people believe that somebody who they refer to as Mary was the mother of the Christ. But if they should read the very Bible that they have, which is a copy, they will understand that the woman who is said foretold to give birth to this child is not at all the mother of the Christ, but the bride of the Christ, the bride. So for Mary to have had the sacred child, she would have had to be the bride of the Lord, who